Welcome back. This demo is to illustrate that relational web applications run faster than web applications on contemporary hardware, so much faster that we can run them on hardware that's 12 years old with a fraction of the power. This Windows Server is from 1998. It's 250 megahertz, and it's running Windows 2000 with 128 megabytes of RAM. It's also running SQL Server 2000. SQL Server is the fastest piece of code you can get. It's the best engine because it sets TPC benchmarks along with Oracle. That means, unlike a managed code platform on hardware that's 12 years old, it'll run circles. Here's one of our test apps that ship with the environment, and we could connect to any database on any SQL server in any instance in the world, but we're connecting locally to run these test applications. You can see the SQL is mixed right with the HTML, and unlike ASP, this is really quite clean because there's no VB code in the middle. There's no Java code. It's just SQL. SQL, select statements, encapsulated statements, and here's an abstract call to a class library which will go ahead and add the formatting for us. If I launch this app, you'll see both instances. Sure enough, there are the grids from the abstract call, and there's a SQL that we selected out along with the markup text. I can go ahead and edit this procedure side by side, just like I could do on contemporary hardware with the current environment, only much quicker because it's SQL Server. The next part of this demo, to be a little more interesting, I'm going to connect to the development environment itself, which is a relational web application. And this is just to illustrate that relational web applications can be as powerful and more powerful than desktop applications. This is a full-feature development environment for SQL Server, and not only can we edit it hot, it's about 12 pages long, about a dozen stored procedures, a page of SQL each. It's incredibly powerful, and I can go ahead and not only edit it recursively, but I can launch another instance of it because it is a relational web application. I'll go ahead and do that right now. Oh, here's another instance. This time I'll connect to Northwind. This database is familiar. It's a Microsoft sample database that ships with SQL Server. And you recognize the sample procedures that come with it. And of course the views, sample views. And I'll tab back to the other procedure, and I'll run some SQL statements right down here from the other window. And of course you see the data back. I can also pull up fields off a table, fields off a view very quickly. Drag and drop field names if I like. And that's about enough for this demo. You've seen the other two. What I wanted to illustrate was that hardware that's 12 years old will run relational applications faster than contemporary hardware. And that's a big statement because it uses SQL. SQL Server is the most powerful engine there is, and it's now harnessed for pure web development. Applications can be written entirely in SQL, no Java, no C#. Managed code has its own limitations. It's probably the slowest mode of deployment that's available, and there are a lot of reasons for that, but in large part here it's because it's not optimized the way SQL Server is. SQL Server needs to perform. As a result, all of the code in SQL Server is optimized for performance. And now this power is harnessed for the web. Applications can be built in a fraction of the time. One SQL statement can scale to 1,000 lines of C++, hundreds of lines of Java, or hundreds of lines of C#. Welcome to the new technology.